Welcome to Airgun Academy, presented by Pyramyd Air, your online airgun resource. Airgunners always need a safe way to stop BBs and pellets. This episode is going to be about BB traps. In a future episode, I'll talk about pellet traps, but today I want to concentrate on BBs because they are different. What makes a safe trap? You know, you would think that a company that makes firearms would know how to make a safe trap for those firearms. In World War II, the United States built over 6 million M1 carbines. They had 10 prime contractors building them in about 3 years. One of those prime contractors, Standard Products Corporation, built a special indoor range because they had to test hundreds of carbines every day. Their trap was a 10-inch thick wall of concrete, and in front of that was 10 feet of wet sand. Now, most people would say that's enough to stop a bullet from a rifle. Right after the range opened up, the night watchman noticed bullets coming out of the building, ricocheting off of fences and going across the road. He ran inside and he stopped what were a bunch of workers off duty who were just having a little fun with carbines. Turns out, since they were shooting at the same place with every shot, this M1 carbine had eaten through 10 feet of wet sand and 10 inches of concrete in only a few hundred rounds. A lot of people don't think air guns need as much safety as firearms. And BB guns are on the low end of air guns. People just don't think it takes much to stop a BB. And the truth of the matter is, some BB guns only shoot 300 feet per second or less, like this old before World War II BB gun, kind of like your Red Ryder. You can make a safe trap for this as long as it's not hard, because these guns shoot steel BBs, and steel will rebound from a hard surface with the same velocity it goes in at. So the trap has to give a little and absorb the energy. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, before I shoot any gun, I'm going to put on my safety glasses. One of the favorite traps for BB guns is a carpet square, just like this one. It hits the carpet and it falls harmlessly to the floor. Now, when a BB gun gets over 400 feet per second, you have to take special precautions. For those, I like to use a trap like this one. This one has special fabric screens called Ballistic Curtains. You notice the first one's kind of shot up. That's because I've used this trap for thousands of BBs. The second one even has holes in it. The third one even has a few marks on it, but there's no holes. When the BB hits this trap, it goes in through all of these curtains, and it hits the steel plate in the back, goes down because of the angle of the plate, hits the bottom and tries to come back out through the curtains again, and it can't. When I set this trap up, I set it up on an angle so the BBs don't even escape the trap, because I don't want BBs all over the place. And the nice thing about this is, when you shoot it up like I have, for a couple of bucks, you can buy another set of ballistic curtains and install them yourself. So that's a great little trap for when BB guns get a little more powerful. But sometimes they get more powerful than that. Sometimes you've got guns like this Daisy 880, pneumatics like this one, or CO2 guns that'll go over 500 feet per second. And this one will go over 600 feet per second. When that happens, you've got a serious situation, because that steel BB will rebound with force. For that, we use a material called Duct Seal. That's not duck, but duct, D-U-C-T. It's like air duct. It's for sealing air vents. Duct Seal is known in the airgun community as ballistic putty. They also sell a quiet pellet trap, and this is mine. Look at all the shots. And what's in front? The steel BBs. Because this Duct Seal does not let BBs pass. Out of a powerful gun, they might go in 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little more, and that's it. All right, I've told you a number of things that work. What doesn't work? Or what works, but not so well? Well, one of the old favorites, I know we don't have telephone books anymore, but we do have catalogs, and people like to use catalogs. And they hang them up and they shoot at them. Two things about that are not so good. Number one, catalogs are hard when they're not shot up, so the BBs tend to rebound. The second thing is, remember that 10 feet of sand? BBs will shoot through catalogs. It may not happen on the first shot, but if you set this up for your kids to shoot and they use it over and over again, they will shoot through the catalog. Something else that doesn't work, people see this Duct Seal and it costs money and they think, well, my son's got modeling clay. That's almost the same thing. You might think it is, but it isn't. Modeling clay doesn't have anywhere near the resilience of Duct Seal. Plumber's putty looks like Duct Seal when it's fresh in the jar. You take it out of the jar, it dries, it gets crumbly. It A, doesn't stop the BBs, and B, it breaks and falls all over your floor and makes a mess. And then some people go outdoors and they commit the worst act of all. They put their target directly on a tree. Two bad things about that. Number one, you're not supposed to shoot at trees. And number two, trees are hard. Your BBs are coming straight back. The worst trap you can use is a metal trap like this. This will stop a .22 long rifle bullet, but that's because the bullet's made of lead. It hits the steel, it deforms, its energy is gone. When the BB hits that, it hits the back, it hits the bottom, it comes back at you at almost the same speed. Those are BB traps. Let's cover the points we talked about. Steel BBs are hard, and they tend to rebound from hard surfaces at almost the same speed. To stop a BB, you want to cushion it and slow it down gradually. Carpet works for BB guns as long as they're not very high powered, those guns that are 300 feet per second and slower. Tough fabric will work in a BB trap with a slanted metal back for guns that go up to about 400 feet per second. When guns go faster than that, you're going to want to use a trap filled with ballistic putty. And we also talked about homegrown traps that don't work very well. Catalogs or phone books, cardboard boxes filled with crushed newspaper, plumber's putty, modeling clay, trees. Regular steel bullet traps are the worst of all. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching.